Hey there, this is Red. Just today I got in the mail something I've been expecting for quite a while, and I guess you can see what that is. It's the Black Widow deck. It had to come all the way from Australia here to the US, so it took it a while, but I finally got it. I'm really excited to kind of give it a run through and see what's there. I haven't been following too closely online as to what's in there. I know there's a lot of preparation pieces in there, and that's kind of the theme of the deck is Black Widow preps and then fires off stuff, but I haven't really been following too closely about how well she plays and the different cards that are in there. So I thought we'd just go through them real quick here. So I got the deck out on the table. Let's take a look at the cards. If you don't want to hear me blather about them, shut off the audio and you can fast forward at your leisure. But right now, I'm going to go through them. So when I see there's Black Widow, we got 2 attack, 2 thwart, 2 defense. Pretty good rounded out hero. Hand size of 5 is decent. Hit points of 9 is a little bit on the low side, but all right. I like so I did do a run through of the deck and counted. I think there's 14-ish preparation cards in her base deck. So the ability to do a damage when you trigger a prep card is pretty nice for her, right? So that's pretty cool. And it's not an attack, right? It's just deal a damage. So she's an Avenger and a Spy. And I think the other thing that I saw that I like is Natasha on the other side is still a Spy, and she's shield and a Spy, but she maintains that spy ability. And there's a lot of the characters in the game where you have to be on one side or the other. You potentially lose some of their abilities. And I like that there's cards in the deck that require spy, and she's a spy both in hero and alter ego mode. So that's pretty cool. Her response of drawing a card after you play a prep card is really nice on that side too. With all of the prep cards in there, I imagine you're going to be doing that quite often. So way cool. All right, let's move on down. Winter Soldier. So assuming you're getting those prep cards out, he's looking pretty nice. So I don't know that I would include him in a deck that didn't have prep cards. And I gotta say, for this card, the artwork is awful. Like, of all the artwork you could pick of Winter Soldier or Bucky Barnes out there, you went with that. But I think in this deck it could be really good just because there's so much prep. But in other decks, it's going to be kind of an iffy card. 2 attack, 2 thwart's nice. 4 health's kind of nice, but 4 cost puts him up there on the kind of high on the cost. He is a wild resource, which is nice. All right, we've got Covert Ops out there. 3 for an event. Remove 4 threat from a scheme and confuse the villain. I really like this card. It's something that I run into fairly often where I want to go over to my alter ego side, and I'm just kind of leaving it up to chance, and the ability to get rid of the threat and confuse the villain before you go over to alter ego is awesome. So I like that part, and there are 2 of those. All right, Dance of Death for 3. Then you do 3 attacks, 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage. So for 3, then you're doing 6. I believe this also happens, I think the tough, if you had something with tough, this will take tough off with the first attack, and then you'd hit it for 2, 3. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's nice. 6 damage for 3 cost, and it breaks it out so you can actually kind of spread it around. Very cool card. And there's 2 of them in there. Yep. All right, the safe house I like with the prep. So you, as an alter ego, you exhaust safe house and take a prep card from your discard pile and add it to your hand. So it's kind of like your Tony Stark's thing where you can pull tech out of your deck. But this, you get to go get a prep card and you get to choose one. It's not just the top prep card, it's a prep card. So that's a pretty cool thing. And it's fairly cheap too. I mean, 1 cost. Wow. Okay. You've got Attack Robotics. I just got done watching, there's a Black Widow and Punisher cartoon movie out there, and you get to see a lot of that in that movie, and it's pretty cool. So let's see here. When a boost card is turned face up, discard Attack Robotics, cancel the boost icon on the card, deal 1 damage to the villain for each boost icon canceled in this way. So probably looking at this in a standard one going, it's kind of nice, but I can really see that in when you're playing expert and some of the villains that have like 3 boost cards, this is going to be a very powerful card for 1 cost. That's nice, right? And it's going to sit out there, get out of your hand until it has the use that you want. A couple of those. Black Widow's Gauntlets. It's a resource. You exhaust your gauntlets and you get a wild for a prep card. So normally I would be kind of iffy on that, but there's so many prep cards in her deck that I think that makes that a pretty good card. And it's cheap, right? There's 2 of them and they're 1 cost, so not bad. All right, we've got the Grappling Hook. When you reveal a treachery, discard Grappling Hook, cancel the effects of the treachery, and discard it. I like that one. It's 2, and again, it's an upgrade that's going to sit out there. I like that you can leave these just sit, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to hold it and wait for it to go off. And there's 2 of those, 2 grappling hooks. All right, and we got the Synth Suit. So what's this? For 3, you get an upgrade, get +1 defense, so that'd make her 3 on the defense. There's a hero's the response after you trigger the ability of a prep card you control, exhaust Synth Suit, and ready Black Widow. So that's pretty cool because then you can defend, and then if you have a prep card that goes off later, then you can get Black Widow back up on her feet. So very cool. Also probably be able to use it during your turn to get 2 attacks out of Widow too, or 2 thwarts. Widow's Bite, so it's 1 and it's a prep. And after a minion enters play, discard Widow's Bite, deal 2 damage to the minion and stun it. Ooh, this would be so useful in so many cases. And the ability to go back and pull this out and it only costs 1, that is going to be a great card, to me it seems, for Black Widow. All right, so now we're going to kind of get into some of the general cards. So Black Widow comes built with Justice. Yay, more Justice cards. Finally, so you get Agent Coulson, and I really like the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, so having an Agent Coulson card is cool. Let's see here. After Agent Coulson enters play, search your deck and discard a pile for a prep card and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. So that's pretty cool. More ways to get prep cards. I like that you can go from your deck or your discard pile, so you've got the option. The 2 thwart is pretty nice also for a 3 cost ally. That's nice, right? Let's see here. Quake, Daisy Johnson. She's an Avenger also. So after a minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to that minion. All right, so at first I'm looking at her like 2 cost. That's pretty cheap, and she's only got 2 health, and that's kind of lame. 1 thwart to attack, but that response, deal 2 damage to a minion, so she can do that response, and she's not going to be dropping damage on her. So you could sit there and use her to pick off scheming minions, which I think when you're using Black Widow, it looks like you'll be in alter ego mode fairly often. So I think her ability to pick off minions is going to be kind of key. So I think a pretty specialized role player. Like, I don't know if she fit in every deck that's out there, but I think she could be really cool in the right decks. All right, Stealth Strike. So 3 for an event. That's an attack, hero action. So deal 4 damage to an enemy if the enemy is defeated. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. So like that one. That's another one to pick off when you're fighting the Masters of Evil out there. I can see where this would be a nice card to have out there. And there's 1, 2, 3. So I don't know that like fighting drones it's that great, because that seems kind of like overkill, but any side scheme where you've got like one of those modular sets that have a lot of villains in it, I think that would be a pretty nice card. All right, Power of Justice. We know what Power of Justice does. Interrogation rooms, 2 of those. Surveillance teams, 2 of those. That's pretty standard stuff. Counterintelligence, another new card. So it's another preparation card. And you can only have 1 out there. And then interrupt. When any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, discard counterintelligence, prevent the 3 of that threat. So that's pretty awesome for some of those big schemey guys that I've seen out there. You get that villain out there that's got 3 scheme on him and he gets a boost card. Like, that's pretty cool. I like that. This will be good in solo. All right, Spycraft. Let's see here. Play only if you control a spy, which luckily, as Black Widow, you will always be a spy. Interrupt: when you reveal an encounter card, discard Spycraft, cancel the effect of that card and discard it, then reveal another card from the encounter deck. Okay, so that's kind of like a do-over like the Black Widow ally. So I like that one. That would stop those advances from coming out there when you don't want them to come out. So, and it's cheap. It only costs 1. So that's good. Good card. Nick Fury. I don't think I need to explain Nick Fury. You probably know Nick Fury. And you probably know that one, and that one, and that one. Everybody knows those 3. All right. Quinn Carrier. Avenger vehicle. Play if your identity has the Avenger. Exhaust Quinn Carrier. Generate a wild resource. I really like that card. For decks that have Avengers in them, I think the Quinn Carrier is amazing because you can use it as a resource. You don't have to be an Avenger to use it as a resource, it looks like. I can see that replacing a lot of things. So that might go in my She-Hulk deck. All right, target acquired. Max 1 per player. Hero response: after a boost card is turned face up, discard target acquired, cancel the card's boost ability. That's nice. It only costs 1, so it's pretty cheap. It's pretty role specific, but there's some villains out there where they have very annoying boost ability. So I can see the use of that. I have a tough. I'm not sure that I would put it in every deck. I think I would have to have a specific villain I was in mind beating before I would use that. I don't know. Got mixed feelings about that one. All right. So we've got Burn Notice. It's Black Widow's obligation. The standard, Exhauster, and remove the card from the game. And then there's the discard the preparation card you control with the highest cost. Otherwise it surges. So that's I don't know if that's a horrible one. As far as those go, I mean, they all kind of suck, but that one's not all that bad. All right, Taskmaster is interesting. We've got a 0 scheme and 0 attack and 4 health. So Taskmaster gets scheme and attack for each upgrade you control. Okay, so that's interesting. The boost for this activation, the villain gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for each upgrade you control. That could be pretty rough if you're playing multiplayer and you've got Iron Man out there or Black Panther and they draw that one because it's gotten put in the deck. I could see that being pretty disgusting amounts of damage. So I don't know that he's, well, I don't know. He doesn't look all that bad for Black Widow, but he looks like he could be really rough when you start playing multiplayer and have the right heroes in the mix. Some heroes it's not going to matter really much at all, but other heroes he's going to be pretty rough. That might be one that you hope to run into early in the game rather than later in the game. That's where you're excited that you early on pull out the Nemesis card. So let's see here. Killer for hire. It's going to have 3 threat +1 per player in advance. That's really not all that bad of a side scheme as far as those go. You got some Hydra mercenaries. Those are annoying. You got 2 of them. And then Deadly Shot. Discard an upgrade you control and either take a damage if you're in hero mode or put a threat on the main scheme if you're in alter ego mode. That I like. I like how that card works. Like thematically, I think that's pretty cool. I like it. All right, stop. Yeah, the rest are just the bonus cards that are coming with there. So the Black Widow deck I'm liking. On the back of the stop card, we've got like what actually goes in the Black Widow deck. So I'm interested in playing it. I want to see how it plays out. I like the idea of the preparation stuff. All right, so let's see what general stuff comes in there. So we've got counterattack, which is a 1 upgrade prep card, max 1 per player, hero response attack. After an enemy, you take damage from an enemy attack, discard counterattack, deal an equal amount of damage to that enemy. Ooh. I'm thinking my She-Hulk deck might like those. How many are there? There's 3 of those. Oh, And it's a physical resource. We'll have to think about that one. All right, rapid response 2 for another prep, and this is 1 per player. A hero response after an ally you control is defeated. Discard rapid response and put the ally back into play with a damage on it. Okay, so it's kind of like a revive the ally card. First, I'm looking at it thinking 2 is kind of steep, but it's a preparation card, so you're paying 2 and letting it sit out there for when you need it. So that's kind of cool. I don't know that I would pay for it if I had to do it out of my hand, but if I can pay 2 and let it sit, I kind of like that card. So there's rapid response. Oop, grabbed one too many there. Defensive stance, which is our protection card. And the green bleeds through on my green screen there. So we've got, again, it's a prep, cost of 2, and take any amount of damage, discard defensive stance, prevent 3 of that damage. So you have to be hero, I guess, as part of that. And then, well, you're not going to be defending unless you're a hero, I guess. Well, it says any damage. But anyway, you're probably hero when you're taking 3 damage, and this would prevent 3 of it. So I like that again. You let it sit out there and use it when you need it. So it's pretty cool. It would be nice if you could have multiples, but it says only 1 per player. So I can see where it would be kind of gross if you did have multiples. All right, so then the last one is espionage. Play only if you control a spy character. When the surge keyword on encounter card would be resolved, discard espionage, draw 2 cards. Wow, I like that one. You know, I think I like that one better than that other one that says cancel a boost icon effect. So I think in my Black Widow deck, I might pull those out and put that in because I think I like that card better. And well, see, it's only if you control a spy. Oh, that's an awesome card, and I would like to use it in other decks, but what are the other spies that are out there? So maybe if you've got... I think Nick Fury's a spy, maybe. And then who else are you left with? Mockingbird? I don't know who else's spies out there. They're kind of limited. So I think this is probably really only the Black Widow deck. I don't know that you'd put it in anywhere else unless you were looking for some very specific circumstances. But yeah, I think I'm going to replace that with the one that gets rid of boosts with that one in the base Black Widow deck. So anyway, I'm really interested to play this deck. It's looking pretty cool. It's probably gonna be a lot different than the other decks I play. I mean, we kind of all got the prep stuff going on there. So there's a box. Yay! I don't think I'd want to see that coming at me. That would be kind of crazy. I'm not sure if that would be worse than the Hulk or not. I think that would be kind of mean. Anyway, looking forward to playing Black Widow. Let me know what you think. If you've already played her, or thoughts on deck construction using Black Widow. Would you use her cards that she's got in anybody else's deck? Or are you looking at, I see some cards I want to put in the She-Hulk deck, I think. Is there anything else anybody else is grabbing out and putting in other decks to use? But yes, that's it for Black Widow. Looks cool. Look forward to playing it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.